A very important compositional element to be aware of is line. There are lines everywhere. Lines can be created by the edges of objects, and they can be within the objects themselves. As you're out taking pictures, look for lines and consider how you can use these lines to direct the viewer's attention to the important parts of the image. Lines can create shape and direction in your image. They can make interesting negative space between objects and can give a photo a rhythm and unity. Lines can imply motion or energy, and they can give the feeling of rest, stability, or power. One of the most important and effective ways to use line is to guide your viewer's eyes to the subject. These types of lines are called leading lines. It's natural for our eyes to follow lines. Think of standing on a railroad track. Your eye naturally follows those tracks until they come to a point. This is the idea behind leading lines. Leading lines can be used as a way to direct the viewer's attention to the important parts of the image. By including subtle lines in a photo that aim toward the focal point, you will help the viewer to stay focused on that part of the image. As we learn more about effective uses of line today, we'll be photographing Lauren. We'll use leading lines to direct the viewer's attention toward her in our images. As we're choosing a location for Lauren to stand for these pictures, we'll want to identify lines that will catch the viewer's attention. When we compose the photo, we'll want to make sure that the lines we've chosen lead the viewer's eye toward Lauren. If the lines lead away from her, it will imply that she is not the focal point, and the viewer will explore other areas of the image. Lines can also lead the viewer right out of the frame if they are placed incorrectly. When you're out taking pictures, you'll want to watch for pointy objects that are placed near the edge of the frame. When a point touches the edge of an image, it's called a tangent and can be very distracting. Tangents will attract the viewer's attention like a magnet and point away from the photograph. When rooftops are placed at the top of a picture, or when pointy elbows are placed at the side, they will create a tangent that will draw attention away from the focal point. Now let's take some pictures of Lauren here in this junkyard, and as we compose the shot, we'll want to remember the rule of thirds and place her in an appropriate intersection. We'll also want to keep the rule of thirds in mind as we consider where to place the lines that we'll be using to direct the viewer's attention to her face. Let's take a few pictures using these palettes behind us to help make the image more interesting. Although the palette is interesting, it actually draws the viewer's eyes away from the frame. When the viewer sees the image, they take a brief glance at Lauren's face, and then their attention is drawn to the palette and out of the frame. So let's recompose the image and take a few more shots. This time, we'll use the lines to our advantage. As you can see, this image is much stronger. The placement of the palette in the frame now leads the viewer's eyes directly to the focal point, Lauren's face, rather than away from it. With all of the lines leading toward her, it will be hard for the viewers to look away. Line can imply different meanings in photography. For example, diagonal lines often imply motion or energy. Placing diagonal lines in an image will make it have an energetic feel, even if the objects in the image are stationary. To make a person appear energetic and active in a photo, simply include some diagonal lines in the composition. Horizontal lines give the impression of peace, rest, or stability. Landscape images are great examples of effective use of horizontal lines. When a viewer looks at a landscape photo, they will often get the impression that the scene has these qualities. Vertical lines give the impression of power, strength, and growth. Common uses of vertical line include images of trees and skyscrapers. The vertical lines created by these subjects can give the viewer the impression that the scene has those qualities. The use of line in composition may be used for aesthetic reasons as well as to invoke a specific meaning to the image. Photography can be a very powerful means to communicate. By utilizing certain compositional elements, you can give your photographs strong messages that the viewer will be able to read very easily.